Hi guys, welcome back to Charmin's Kitchen. I hope you guys are wrapping up your cooking for tomorrow, but we can't end our Christmas without baking some homemade bread. For pepper pot, I always like to have fresh homemade bread to go with mine. So today I'm going to be baking a batch of bread, and I have here some all-purpose flour. I have some lukewarm water. I have some regular dried flour to help to knead the dough, brown sugar, yeast, and some room temperature butter. This is a very simple recipe. Once you follow these steps, you will come out with some delicious homemade bread. I will leave all the measurements and all the ingredients I'm using today in the description box below. It's only 5 ingredients. So let's start with the mixing. Into the lukewarm water, I'm gonna go in with some of the sugar. Brown sugar helps to activate the yeast quicker. I'm gonna go in with my yeast, and I'm making a double batch today because it's Christmas and it's always nice to have a slice with some jam or your pepper pot or anything, cheese. It goes really fast in my kitchen. I'm just stirring this up. I'm gonna cover it and leave it for about 10 minutes while I am mixing that butter into the flour. So into the flour, I'm gonna add my softened butter. And then I'll go in with my sugar as well. This is gonna help me to loosen up that butter. The butter and sugar will give your bread a beautiful flavor. I'm not adding any salt to mine because I'm using salted butter, but if you're adding unsalted butter, you can go ahead and add about a half teaspoon of salt into here. I usually don't because I always bake with salted butter. So I'm gonna go in and mix this in well. And when the butter and sugar is well incorporated, I will add my yeast mixture. So look at my yeast. Oh my gosh, it almost reached at the top of the bowl. So let your yeast fully activated. I said 10 minutes, but I guess I'd leave it for a little bit longer. When you're baking, don't rush the baking. Always take your time, you'll get the best results. I'm gonna go in and add my yeast mixture right in the center here. And that's the sugar and the water and the yeast. And then we're gonna go in with the rest of our lukewarm water in here to knead the dough. So I'm gonna give it a head start with this spatula, and then I'll go in with my hand for the final mixing. And I am making a double batch like I mentioned before, so when you look at the ingredients, you can always minimize it to the amount that you're making. So I'm gonna go in with my hands now because I have more control when I'm kneading my dough with the hands. Now go in and mix all this together to form a really big dough. So just like that, our dough is finished. Kneading it with my hands, but you can use a mixer to make it faster. For me, mixing with the hands is just as fast as the mixer. And I'm gonna add a little bit flour to mine because it have a little stickiness to it. That means it's gonna be a nice soft dough. And I'm gonna work that flour in to avoid that stickiness. And once you add the right amount of liquid, you're gonna end up with a beautiful dough like this. So because this is a double batch, I'm gonna break it in half. because I want to give the dough enough room to rest in this bowl. And I'm going to put one over into a different, in a pot maybe. I'll put this one in, and I will leave it to rest at least 1 hour. But to me, I like to go longer, because the longer it sits, the better and the nicer your bread will rise. So don't rush the baking process. So I'm gonna go work on something else, and I'll come back when this is nice and double in size to plait them, because I'm gonna make some plait bread with these. So this is one here, and this is the other one here. We'll come back when they double in size. I'm gonna add some flour on my counter, and we will take out the dough now. This is one piece that I have only. This is really nice and soft. I didn't leave it for 1 hour. It was soaking for longer than an hour because I was working on something else. So the longer you leave your dough, the better for you. I'm gonna go ahead and knead this dough back. It's really nice and soft, as you guys can see. And I'm gonna give it a good kneading. With this amount here, I usually get 2 loaves of bread, but today I'm gonna do something different, and I'm gonna make individual bread for my family to eat our pepper pot. Some people like ends and some people like middle, so I want them to have the entire bread, and they're gonna have everything in that one bread. So I'm gonna go in with some little pieces. I'm gonna try to get as many small ones as possible. So we need 3 pieces to make our plait bread, and I'm making small plait bread. So how would you like to have your own bread, babe?
That would be awesome. I love plait bread.
Yes, and to have your own.
Oh, yeah.
The kids would be happy to have their own. Do you think?
My own loaf of bread?
Yes.
That's amazing.
So we're gonna start joining the top. And this is super, super soft. And then we're gonna go in and do the plaits. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you can do it the best way you can. Try to make sure that there is no crease between the braids. And then you keep going like that. And this is gonna be 1 loaf here on its own. And I'm gonna continue to make so everybody can have 1. And I know that we'll have more than 1 for everybody.
You remind me of Narayan's Bakery or Humphrey.
From back home?
From back home.
Okay, so this is one. It's really, really super nice and soft. But I will try to leave it to rest for about half an hour to 45 minutes more. And I'm gonna have to make sure that I'm making it the right size to fit on these pans, right?
You sure the whole loaf for me?
Yes, this whole loaf for you. You guys are lucky this Christmas.
Wow, awesome.
So check out my little loaves. I have mommy and daddy loaves here. And I have the kids' loaf. I'm gonna let them rest for a little. And then I still have another half of the dough to work with. So I'm gonna make some big loaves as well. So here is my other piece of dough, and you can see that it doubled as well. We're gonna start working on this one here. Nice and soft and fluffy. I'm gonna give this a good kneading as well. And this is so soft. This dough is so soft. So I'm gonna knead it for a few minutes before I start making my loaves. So out of my batch of dough that I mixed today, I got here this one here, and I'm making small loaves today. I would like to give the kids their own individual loaves. So I have one here, I have 2 small ones there, I have mommy and daddy one here, another little one. I have 3 over here, and I have another one that I can't fit on this countertop. So all together I have 3, 6, 9, 10 loaves of bread from that batch, but I made small loaves. So before I put them in my 350-degree oven, I'm gonna slightly brush them with some melted butter. You can do this with eggs as well, but I want to keep it on the buttery side today. And this is going to help it to achieve that nice, beautiful brown color on the finish. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for all of these ones. And when they finish, I'm going to also brush them again with some more melted butter because it gives a beautiful, nice sheen at the end. My first 2 loaves are done. And look how beautiful they are. My kitchen is smelling amazing, and I have 8 more loaves to go. And you don't put your hand here because I don't like to cut them when they're just finished. So I'm gonna show you, this is what we're having tomorrow with our pepper pot, fresh from the oven. My kitchen will smell like fresh baked bread tonight and early in the morning. So I just finished my last 3 here. And I just added some butter. My house smells amazing, amazing with this beautiful scent of fresh bread. And here I have 10 loaves. I have enough for my entire YouTube family. I'm just happy that I'm finished baking my bread now. I finished all my cooking, and tomorrow I'm just gonna sit back, relax, and enjoy. So if you haven't baked your bread yet, I hope I inspire you to bake some tomorrow morning or even later tonight. If you guys like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, I hope you'll consider subscribing. Until then, we want to say stay blessed, stay safe. We love you guys. Bye for now. I'm not going to taste yet, but I'll taste tomorrow for you all.